Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Grants Pass CSL. Good to see everybody here. We're going to start off with the first song this morning and take a little love and pass it on. Why not, eh? Everybody know this song. Here we go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Spirit of creation, I'm gonna let it shine. Spirit of creation, I'm gonna let it shine. Spirit of creation, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. It is so wonderful to see all of your faces today. I am Paula Peterson, and I am a practitioner here at the center. And I know that we all have many places, many opportunities to go to worship this morning, to feel spiritually connected, and you chose here. And I just want to extend a great big welcome to everyone and a great big smile from my heart. So we are going to start this service, how we start all services, with our vision mission statement. We are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles. I have the pleasure of also doing the announcements today. So hang on, I have some good ones. So this is a continuation of last week. I mentioned the pop group, and there were several people that came up and talked to me afterwards and said, "What's a pop group?" And so let me just follow through and I'll make an announcement about next month's meeting. So the POP group is People on Purpose, and it was formed last year to engage our members and interested folks in the wider community in social and environmental actions. So one of our members was very moved when our world basically shut down and we were able to see mountains again that we hadn't seen for a very long time, that our air cleaned up and animals were roaming in the streets of cities. And so she was inspired to start this group. The mission statement is, we are committed to a world that works for all life by being agents of change. We embrace Mother Earth in her wholeness and take positive actions to create balance and harmony. We work to promote sustainability, environmental wholeness, and social justice. We pray and move our feet. So this is about the next meeting, which is September 15th at 11 a.m. here at the center. Bring your ideas and questions and issues. We will pray and then we discuss projects and ongoing programs that the group wants to support by encouraging each person to contribute as they are called. We do this by practicing kindness and compassion for positive, uplifting change. If this calls to you, we have Bucky here and Linda Mullins, and contact them after the meeting or call them or email them about the POP group. Also, something that isn't in our something that isn't in your e-news. Those of you that come in through the back door noticed, hopefully, a big change. We used to have, the paint was peeling on the benches, and Glenn worked very hard at sanding, priming, and repainting all of those. I don't see him here today, but next time you see him, he did this out of the love for the center and his contributions. So it was just out of his love and givingness. So thank him very much for that. Let me see next. Okay, next, for all of our Zoom and Facebook viewers, our community is expanding with the wonderful technology of online streaming. We have many new people joining us from all around the globe. We're so excited and grateful for this opportunity to expand our community. You can now participate in a new way within our community by becoming a virtual member. These are the privileges of virtual membership and in-person membership. Ability to vote in all of the center elections, which is coming up in September. Eligibility for election or appointment to the board when meeting requirements. And 3, ability to propose and implement board and minister approved new programs or ministries for the community. To become a virtual member, click the virtual member tab on the website, fill out the form, and it will be submitted to the board for approval. And we also have virtual pledge cards available. These help us plan within our community for upcoming events. Thank you for your continued support. Speaking of support, we do have a call for your sacred service. There's many opportunities to serve within this community. There is greeting, there is bringing flowers, helping with our kitchen and our food, helping with the bookstore, even attending classes, helping with the service, running the soundboard, even turning on the candles in the morning. We have lots of ways that you can serve. And also an important way that is coming up is to serve by being on our board. There are packets in the back, and I encourage you to peruse the packet to see what the eligibility requirements are, or talk to any board member. If you have been on board and you would be willing to talk to someone, please raise your hand. So we are available to chat with anyone if they want to know more about being on our board. Also, there's wonderful boxes in the back. Remember, we used to have the Kindness Club. This is kind of along that same thing, but we need some school supply donations. So these will be for older students. And there is a whole list of what we need in the back: spiral notebooks, college will pay for, et cetera, et cetera. So see Deborah Purdue or Mary Works if you have any questions, and there are boxes and a list in the back if you would be so kind to bring them. I think let's see, we deliver them at the end of August. Okay, thank you. And also today, at noon, the Unexpected Income Program will be meeting from 12 to 12:30. Our metaphysical book study from 9 until 9:45 happens every Sunday. And we still have the books on that back table. I'm thinking we'll leave them there through August, and what's not delivered to a new home will be delivered elsewhere by me probably. So now please stand and join Dave in singing We Are One. Thank you.
We are one. I am you, you are me. We are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony. As peace has come, as we are one. We are one. We are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony. As peace has come, as we are one.
Please join me in reading the gratitude.
I am so thankful for the miracle of water that nourishes all life, and so it is.
Well, good morning and welcome once again to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Bucky Dennerline, and I'm one of the licensed practitioners here, and it is my deep honor to welcome you here, to see all these beautiful faces in this room and out there in the Ethernet. So it's wonderful. I know that we are here, one of us is here all the time. Paula Peterson is seated in the rear of the room this morning as our practitioner holding the high watch. She's knowing the truth and the peace and the love. And thank you, Paula, for your service for this. She also was available after the service for that really wonderful thing that we do here. What is it, you guys? Prayer. That's right. Yes, see. So she's here to either she will pray with you or she'll point you to one of the practitioners. And I think we have several practitioners. If you would raise your hand, if you're available for prayer after the service, we'd love to have you pray with us. We have several of us. Thank you so much. And there's lots of ways to make prayer requests, not just in person, or if you're out there in Zoom land and Facebook land and all the good things we have to get us connected electronically, you can use our website and make a prayer request. There's a little form. And if you're sitting here and you like to write things down in the front of the seats, there are little cards and you can fill out with a pen or a pencil, just the old school way. And It's a yellow form that looks like this. We put it in our offering basket or in the little box next to Paula at the back table, which will be prayed on for an entire week by our whole team of ecclesiastical, practitioners and our minister is what I'm trying to say. But there you go. And we love to know because we know prayer is always answered. Aha. We have a little form for that too. So if you have a demonstration or the way that shows up in your life, your prayer request, please let us know. We'd love to celebrate with you. That's part of the whole deal. Because we know there are answers. Let's see here. What else? Oh, what's really cool is I'm looking out and I see a few new faces. Is there anyone who's here for the first time in person? Is there anybody here for the first time? Because we do have a gift for you. We'd love to let you know more about us, and this little packet will help you start to get acquainted with us. And we encourage you and invite everyone to stay after our service and join us for a little snack and just get to know each other. And we'd like to extend our welcome personally at that time. So if you haven't turned off the cell phones that make noise, please do so now so that we can be together in the beautiful continuity of spirit. It's time to read our prayer. I show up to nurture and protect our planet Earth. I know that I am one with everything, and that includes our home on Mother Earth. I am mindful of how I use all her resources, including water, and so this month, we're celebrating nature as our themes across our Centers for Spiritual Living community worldwide. So it's a perfect time to examine the sacred elements and our relationship to them as we learn more about our connection to Mother Nature. The elements, water, fire, air, and earth, are the sacred seeds of life. The Great Mother contains these sacred seeds in her body, as do we. There is great beauty in knowing that we're connected because of this. We come from her, and we will return to her. The elements are conscious expressions of spirit, and they want to care for us and maintain our health and well-being. Isn't that why we feel so revitalized when we get out in nature? We take a little walk, step out the back door, we listen to birds, we hear a stream running by. Beautiful. That's where we can realize that the elements of nature are in perfect balance, and we can connect with the harmony of this union. I first understood this as an intellectual concept up in my head, but then it dropped into my body, into my heart. Knowing this is truth as I experienced a profound shift in my relationship with these elements. I'm going to share with you a little bit about what our ancestors taught. This doesn't have to be your truth, but I hope you find that. So I invite you to settle in to the first element, water. The first feminine element, it's cleansing, revitalizing, life-giving. It represents the waters of life through birthing, fluid and menstrual blood, and the nourishment of breast milk. And it carries the memory of the feminine throughout time. When people pollute the water, they desecrate the mother and her ability to feed her children, the plants, animals, and us humans. Those who do this resonate with the toxic masculine They have severed their ties with the mother and desecrate her in a way, as a way to achieve a false sense of power. The healing of the feminine is crucial for humanity, because when men and women embrace their inner feminine, the gender divide will dissolve and the Great Mother will be respected. Developing a relationship of loving respect with this element is the first step in repairing this split within ourselves and in the world. I invite you now to silently bless our life-giving water. May each of us grow in meaningful relationships to all elements, especially the water, so that all the elements and all creatures can experience greater health and well-being. And knowing this truth, we say together, so it is. And now it's time for some very special music from Dave Blake. We're so glad to have you back, Dave. It's wonderful. And then a very special message from Jamica. Wallace.
You know, folks, one of the favorite things I like to do is walk in a forest. Especially the redwoods. I love the redwoods. You can almost feel the presence. I can feel it in the stillness of the forest, in the rippling waters of the quiet stream. I'm a part of everything I'll ever be. No matter where I roam, I am home. Every bird I hear is singing me a welcome. Every mountain, every valley knows my name. No matter where I roam, no matter where I go, I am home. I am home. All the love I feel around me lets me know that I am not a stranger anymore. Home is where the heart is, and home is where I'll be. Never. I can see it in a million different places. There's a light that shines behind the darkest sky. No matter where I roam, no matter where I go, I am home. I am home. Every bird I hear is singing me a lullaby. Every mountain, every valley knows my name. Well, I'm a part of everything I'll ever be. I am all the love I feel around me lets me know that I am not a stranger anymore. Home is where the heart is, and home is where I'll be. There's a light that shines behind the darkest sky. No matter where I roam, no matter where I go, I am home. I am home. I am
Have to. I don't stand stationary. You guys won't be able to hear me if I don't bring this up. So, welcome and good morning. It is so nice to see all your beautiful faces. Hello out there in Zoom and Facebook. If you don't know, my name is Jamica Wallace, and I am a licensed practitioner here at the center. And I am so excited to get to be here today and talk with you guys a little bit about the wonderful topic of nature. And this month we are focusing, to put my glasses on so I can read that out. This month we're focusing on living in everyday wonder, nature. We all live in this beautiful, beautiful planet Earth, but are we truly, truly living as one? Are we living in harmony with the planet? Are we living in harmony with nature and all living beings, including ourselves in that mixture? This month, we've been invited to explore and deepen our connection with God, viewing God in everything and everyone on this beautiful living planet. So this week, we're going to dive a little bit deeper, and we're going to bring our conscious awareness to water. Earth is called the blue planet because it is a large surface area that is covered by water. Our oceans, our seas, our lakes, our rivers provide food and oxygen. It provides climate regulation for our planet. It also provides recreation for us. It gives us the ability to travel from one landmass to another. And it even provides very precious medicine for us. Science helps us to know the properties and function of water in nature, in the natural world. Ethics helps us to decide how to preserve, protect, and distribute this Earth's water's resources. And spirituality helps us to identify Sorry guys, this mic is not cooperating with me, huh? Spirituality helps us to identify our core convictions about the meaning and value of water. So if we generally hold that water has life-sustaining value, it will be demonstrated in how we act and in our actions. We will demonstrate a respect for Mother Earth and for her water resources. Conversely, if we are routinely acting in ways where we are misusing the water, then we are displaying an inner spirit that shows lack of respect for the water and for Mother Earth. So regardless of what we say about its value, if we stop and we pay attention to our actions, this is what can help us to go deeper and to identify what our operating spirituality is. This is what can help us to gain a greater awareness of our inner spirit and help us to align with what our true convictions are. So let's do that. Let's dive a little bit deeper and take a look at ourselves. From the beginning of time, humans have settled along lakes, rivers, seas, all in areas where we knew our life would be supported. It's estimated that about 80% of the world's population lives within 60 miles of a water resource, an ocean, a lake, or river. And over 500 million people owe their livelihoods directly to water. 2/3 of our global economy is derived from activities that involve the water. So we can see very clearly water is something we use for absolutely everything. We use it for drinking, cleansing, we use it for working, we use it to recreate, we use it to travel. Approximately 1 billion people worldwide rely on this source for their protein. Science tells us that the human body requires 2 liters of water for a normal functioning body. It is estimated that each person in the United States uses 80 to 100 gallons of water every day for what we consider our basic needs. So as vital as water is, we're polluting our rivers, our lakes, and our oceans. We're diverting it from places that truly do need it. And in these actions, it's not only us that are being impacted, it is the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom. All of humanity is being affected by this. So while it's true, water is absolutely very, very plentiful on our planet, most of it is salt water and it's not readily drinkable, or it's not usable for agriculture. So to quote Benjamin Franklin, when the well is dry, we know the worth of water. In The Art of Life, Ernest Holmes tells us, just as water purifies itself as it flows, so the impure stream of our mental life becomes purified by applied constructive thinking. It may well be that a lack of circulation in the physical body is a result of mental stagnation, while mental stagnation is a result of a lack of spiritual perception. So we are the custodians and guardians of the lakes, the rivers, and the oceans, not only for ourselves, but for all of life on planet Earth. So let us, from this place of oneness, immerse ourselves in the flow of the river of life, where the water flows pure and crystal clear. Our planet is covered by water, and from outer space, we can see it as a beautiful blue planet. From roaring waterfalls to crashing waves, gentle rains, billowing clouds, water pervades our planet's majestic biosphere. But we often get caught up in our everyday lives and forget to just pause and value this precious source. Every one of us can experience the wonder of water every day. We stop and bring mindfulness to our daily activities. When we do something as simple as drink a glass of water, and we just stop and pause and give gratitude, give love to that water, for the blessing that it's providing for us. When we stop and bathe, when we stop and give gratitude for this beautiful resource that's cleansing us and revitalizing us, rejuvenating us. When it's raining outside, can we stop and pause for a minute and give gratitude for that beautiful, precious resource that is cleansing our air, it's nourishing the plant life. We live in one of the most beautiful places on this planet right here. We have the most majestic lakes and creeks and rivers. We are a short drive from this beautiful ocean. Do we stop and pause and appreciate it? Do we give love for it? Do we pay attention for the beautiful life that lives within the water? The life force energy it's bringing to the animals and the plants. We truly have an amazing opportunity to invite sacred communion with the divine through the mediumship of water. I just think it's a beautiful thing. In this teaching, we understand energy goes where our thoughts flow. Science and water back this up in numerous ways. Can you hit the slide for me, please, Caitlin? I got a little slideshow for you guys today. And in the Hidden Message in Water, a book by Masaru Emoto in 2005, he captures photo evidence of our power using our thoughts and water. And so what he did was he took drops of water and froze them and took pictures of them with sending thought energy to them. And the one here on the right, what he did was he sent the energy of saying, you disgust me. I don't like you. You're just, I don't like you. And then he froze it. And that's the image that we got on the right. And then he took that same drop and he loved it. He just sent the love and the gratitude. And he froze it. And look at the difference. Just the power of his thoughts to me. Can you hit it one more time? One more slide. So this is a drop of water that came from Fujiwara Dam before it was prayed over. So it was frozen before it was prayed over, and it's the one on the left there you can see just kind of just colored and scattered looking. And then they did a Buddhist prayer over that drop and refroze it. And that is the image they got after the prayer. So it's phenomenal. Energy truly, truly, you guys, goes where our thoughts flow. Thank you. Thank you. So it is believed that what we consider beautiful is a result of our innate drive for survival as a species. Dennis Dutton, in a 2010 TED Talk, described what people consider a beautiful landscape. The elements were universal: open spaces covered with low grass, interspersed with trees, and a water element. These elements represent everything needed for human survival. Grass and trees for food, the ability to see approaching danger, climbable trees to get away from the danger, the predators, and a reliable source of water. When I was working on this, I about fell over when I read that because I'm in the process of manifesting my new home. And when I sat with myself and asked self, what is it I want? These were all on my list. So I'm like, ooh. The term biophilia refers to the hypothesis that we humans have an instinctive bond with nature and the living organisms with which we share our planet, ingrained into our genes. It is said because we've spent most of our evolutionary history, 3 million plus years, 100,000 plus generations in nature, long before we started communities, towns, and cities, that we naturally have an inherent love for natural settings. Water truly is one of our most ancient ancestors. So to quote Alan Watts, you didn't come into this world, you came out of it. Like a wave from the ocean, you are not a stranger here. Our ancient ancestors came out of the water. We evolved from swimming to crawling to walking. Human fetuses still have gill slits, structures in the early stages of development, and we spend the first 9 months of our lives in the watery environment of our mother's womb. Ralph Waldo Emerson tells us in his book, The Magic in Your Mind, everything in nature contains all the power of nature. Everything is made of one hidden stuff. When we were born, our bodies are approximately 78% water. The brain is made of 80%, and in its mineral composition, the water in our cells are comparable to it's found in the ocean. Everything is made of one hidden stuff. So water is absolutely essential for our health, and it's a necessity for us to function in these human bodies. We have to have it to regulate our temperature. It helps to our very cellular function. It helps to remove the waste from our bodies, get rid of the junk. So clear, pure water is absolutely vital to our survival and to the survival of our planet. We can see that there are some challenges out there. We can take a look at that and see that there are some challenges. Nature is affected by human greed. The global water industry is legally bottling water at sources and then turning around and selling it to people downriver who used to just have free access to that water. The sources, the lakes, the streams, the rivers that they're pulling this from are eventually going lower, completely drying up. The people down the river that are not only now paying for that water, they're also paying because they have all this plastic now and all this rubbish that we're drying up. Animals are suffering from it because they're drying up. The plants are suffering from it, and some animals are completely leaving the planet altogether because of this. So it's a consciousness of separation that allows many to live in lack so that a few can enjoy the benefits. For most of us, it is hard to even fathom the idea of waking up before sunrise, walking for hours and hours to find a water hole. And then when we do, it's a muddy hole in the ground that we're sharing with our neighbors and all their livestock. Carrying 50, 60 pounds of water on our back, taking it back to our families, knowing that this water is tainted, but it's all we have. Many of these people are suffering from diarrhea and waterborne diseases. They're losing their loved ones at unimaginable rates. And this is a challenge for 748 million people on our planet. That's nearly 10% of everyone on this planet. The WHO, the World Health Organization, says that more than 3.4 billion people die annually as a result of water-related diseases, making this the leading cause of death around our world. We are fortunate, most of us here, we're in that 90% that we're born in places where we haven't had to worry about finding our water. or question whether the water quality might be affecting our health. But that's not true so much today either, because here locally, we're seeing these effects. We are seeing it. There are many who are remaining unaware, uninformed, and unconsciously are continuing to support these activities that pollute the rivers, the lakes, the oceans, whether it's directly or indirectly. We can waste our water on indulgences like lawns and golf courses in the deserts. Meanwhile, drinking water reservoirs are becoming depleted. Plants, animals, and humans are suffering for it. So I invite you guys today to challenge your awareness. I invite you to challenge yourselves to look a little deeper. Look at what your relationship with water is. Bring that awareness, that conscious awareness forward, looking at how you're affecting yourself and everybody else on the planet. I invite you to investigate. Investigate locally. How is your water being treated? How is it being handled and taken care of? And the big thing is, if we can identify a problem, let's become the solution. A wonderful example of being the solution is Oscar Mahia comes from a long line of educators and has taught children in the community of San Antonio de Cortez, Honduras, for over 18 years. 4 years ago, the sanitation facilities at the local school were so ran down that children were required to bring their own water to operate the toilets. The bathrooms were made of old and decaying wood that didn't promote cleanliness or any kind of hygiene. We live in a rural place, and although we are a small and tight-knit community, shared Oscar, unfortunately our bathrooms were in bad condition, and it was a very big problem for our children and our community. Oscar and the other teachers looked for options. They connected with Water for Life, a global nonprofit that helps bring clean water and sanitation solutions to their communities. Water for Life staff held sanitation and hygiene workshops for the school and community and co-financed the project. Meanwhile, the rest of the community came together and coordinated the efforts that were needed to provide necessary labor. It's the responsibility of each community member to help maintain the facilities and to promote good hygiene. Whenever toilet paper or soaps run out, one of the parents brings more. Everyone plays his or her part to maintain the health of the children and the community. The construction of the sanitary facilities benefited the school's children tremendously, allowing them to better focus on the activities of class. There has also been a ripple effect in terms of hygiene education. The school now has almost 100% school attendance, and the students are no longer experiencing waterborne illnesses. So again, I challenge you to ask, where can I bring awareness? Can I stop and pause and maybe identify some places where there's maybe I'm a little wasteful or I can conserve a little bit more? If we can identify a problem, it means that we can identify the solution. We truly are one. To quote John Muir, when we contemplate the whole globe as one giant dewdrop, striped and dotted with continents and islands, flying through space with other stars, all singing and shining together as one, the whole universe appears as an infinite storm of beauty. So if we truly believe that God is all there is, then let us live in a way that reflects this truth. Let us move from just saying words to understanding how this truth shows up in our lives. And finally, let us make awareness a daily sustainable practice. Let us rekindle our relationship with this vital element, water. And so it is.
So it is.
So let's take a minute and follow our teaching, go within and do a prayer. I invite you to just close your eyes or take a gaze at something comfortable. And I invite you to bring your awareness to the power of the Creator. I know that there is one power that goes by infinite name and is limited by none. And I know that this is a life affirming, unconditional love, light, joy, beauty, peace. This is the power that created the universe, the stars, the moon, the sun, this beautiful planet Earth, the waters of life. I know this is the creative process that's working within each of us, right here and right now. I know we are one, and I know that there is not a spot where God is not. And when we pause, look, and listen, from this place of oneness, we see the reflection of the Spirit in all of nature. And I do speak a word of blessing for this beautiful planet, over the beautiful Mother Earth, over her wonderful, glorious waters, the wonderful joys, the life force that it brings us. She is such a precious, precious demonstration of God's desire for good in this universe. A perfect example of prosperity and abundance for all. We are grateful and thankful to live in harmony and peace as these earthlings. And from this place of oneness, we offer these words with love, gratitude. We place them directly into the law, knowing that it is done. And we can affirm this together.
So it is.
And I think we're going to move on to our offertory now, I believe. And if you will repeat after me, if you want to get your offertory out and place it over your heart, or even just your hand over your heart. We're just offering our love today. And together we will say our affirmation together.
I absolutely know I can't outgive God, and so I give freely and joyously of my abundance, and so it is.
Take a moment and say a prayer over these beautiful tidings. I know that these tithes are blessings and evidence of the prosperity and abundance floating and circulating in and out of our lives. I know that these tithings are blessing the giver and the receiver as they are doing good works within our center and within the center of our affairs. And we speak a word of blessing and love as we bring them in with love and as it goes out with love, knowing that it's just blessing all that it touches. And we can affirm this together by saying,
And so it is.
so. Have a song to take us out? Is it a peace song? Peace song, that's right. We're going to do the peace song together. Yay! Let's sing Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my body.
It's happening in my body.
It's happening in the body of my affairs.
It's happening in the body of my affairs.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
And I know it.
And I know it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way it is not.
Just the way it is.
Thank you, life.
Thank you.